Have you ever gotten up and quit your job in the middle of a work shift? If so, why? Day 2. Owner tells me that he pays taxes for us, so he pays cash and it is after taxes. So 7.5 and not the 10 per hour we agreed to. I walked out and called the IRS hotline to report fraud. Dishwasher had worked there 2 weeks. The AC for kitchen and office both broke the day before I started. Office AC was fixed the following day, kitchen AC wasn't priority. It was a heat wave in August, hitting 115 degrees outside. The whole kitchen staff walked out. I was a cook and new manager kept making me cover dish pit cause dishwasher was not showing up, because they refused to hire another one and were making him work 7 days per week. I told him if he kept making me close dish pit I was gonna put my 2 weeks in. He said good and went back to cooking. So I went and grabbed my shoes and backpack, got his attention, he turned around and I gave him a peace sign and left. Keep in mind I had been there for 3 years, worked as a busser, dishwasher, server, host, cook, I did everything they asked. He had only been out manager for 2 months. Me and the entire waiting staff walked out. The new owner of the restaurant I worked for wanted to charge the staff for breakages. Had a part-time job for about 40 minutes in college. Started as a data entry job, paid $7.25. The owner found out I was going to school for an IT-related field and starting throwing tasks like updating his website and basic tech support. I left almost immediately. Yes. FedEx Ground. Was a package handler making $2 an hour. The requirements were insane for the conditions they had us working in. One day, I told my sort manager that I was running to the restroom and he was like, "Come on, man. Can you hold it for another 45 at least?" I told him no and went off to the bathroom. I was already fed up with the job, but that was the tipping point for me. I got out the bathroom, walked to the time clock, clocked out, and left. A month later, at my new job, I got a call from FedEx Ground. They were wondering where I'd been since I hadn't been seen at work in over a month. They told me to give them a call back if I was still interested in working. LOL. I got a job at a new grooming salon in a Petco. It was a commission-based job, and they still had a sign out front saying grooming salon coming soon. So after a week of making no money, I came into work and the manager said, "You can't wear jeans here." "Okay," I replied, then turned around and walked out, never to be seen again. He called a week later asking me to come back. I laughed and hung up. $0 an hour. My boss would solve problems exclusively by shouting. One day I was super busy, and I skipped putting out a table. I was wrong, but it was one of 60 I put out. The chef asked nicely if I could. I said yeah. "I'll grab it." Before I could, I hear just screaming. It's nothing helpful. Just screeching the same words I was told 30 seconds earlier. At that point I was sick of it. I told her, "This is why we can't keep staff." I walked out. I got woken up the next morning to the morning manager asking for me to help. I said I would come in, but today is my only day, and if I see the other manager at all I'm walking out. I finished the morning prep and left. I was told later that she was fired after 2 more people quit on her the next day. Was server. Working for tips only. Had 1 table in 1 week. Made $2. Probably nobody ever realized I was gone. I was at the height of my alcoholism, working in a pizza shop. I was making pizzas and trying to hold it together while in active withdrawal. Got my paycheck via direct deposit and decided I would move on to bigger and better things that day. Bigger and better things being a big bottle of gas station vodka and some lemonade for a mixer. Don't recommend working in a hot environment as an alcoholic in active withdrawal. Yes, I've done this 3 times. The first time, it was a contract position. The boss asked me to put in more effort, which translated to, I want you to work more hours for free. No, thanks. In the second one, the owner and her husband, my boss, called me into a meeting to yell and curse at me, put the fear of God in me, I guess, then told me how I was going to report some false information to the customer. Nope, I said, people don't talk to me like that, and left. In the third one, I agreed to work part-time, no more than 4 hours a day, while my wife was hospitalized. The first day, they asked me to work 6 hours, then told me to be ready to work 8 hours the next day. I just left. I worked a door. We barred all the local drug dealers. They came back multiple times over the next few weeks trying to attack us. Came to work one day, and they was all allowed back in the pub. The landlord missed the money they put behind the bar. I left, wasn't worth the risk. I just walked off the door and left them to it.